Probably one of the greatest things about Android is the fact that it is so customizable. You'd be pretty hard-pressed to find two Android phones or tablets that look exactly alike. So with that in mind, we know certainly that sometimes you want to see how other people structure their Android phones and devices, and you're just kind of curious to see what kind of functionality they're taking advantage of. So that's exactly what we're going to show you from our end. So in this new segment, we're going to take a look at primarily the home screens and the lock screens in Jelly Bean 4.2 on the Nexus 4, and just how I structured them for my tastes. So it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And this is How I Android. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So obviously this is the Google Nexus 4. This is the, there you go. This is the phone sporting the latest version of Android, Jelly Bean 4.2, which added a lot of functionality to the two parts of the experience that we're going to take a look at today, which is the lock screen and the launcher. The main reason why I wanted to start How I Android with those two particular ones are because they're the first things you see before you get to any other part in the phone anyway. So what better places to start? Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So we're going to start off with our lock screen, obviously. And our lock screen right here in Jelly Bean 4.2, it added functionality to what used to be just a plane with a widget on it. And now what they added are lock screen widgets, but in reality they're really screens. So if you swipe from the edge here, you'll see that it starts to appear on the side. So these are like a bunch of different screens, actually, and you can add a lot of them. I only have 3. I usually like to keep things at 3, including my home screens, which you'll see later. So let's just jump right in. On the left side there, on the leftmost screen, the first one, I have my calendar. Pretty self-explanatory. I just like to have my appointments available so I can either add one or see what's coming up next. And then on the other side, you have the permanently placed camera widget, which gets you right into the app real quick. But in the middle, you'll see that I'm using not the stock Android Jelly Bean clock, but instead I'm using one called DashClock. We just did a review on this application and it actually turned out to be quite good. I only saw it about a day or two ago and I added it right on after I tried it out, so that just goes to show you how easily customizable Android is, because your particular setup could change at any given time. Really easy on the eyes. It looks just like the stock Jelly Bean clock on the left. You have notifications on the other side, and when you swipe down, you get an expanded view of those. You can do text messages, your next alarm, calendar entries, email, weather, all of that. So it's a really nice lock screen clock to have. Very functional. So a functional simplicity, that's something that I'm always going for here, and that definitely fulfills the criteria. And of course you got the Google Now at the bottom, which I use quite a lot, and then the unlocker right here in the lower third. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the launcher. So let's just unlock, and here we are. You'll see that I'm not using the stock launcher that comes with Jelly Bean 4.2. The reason being is, as much as I love it, there are a couple launchers out there that keep the same design motif as the stock launcher, which is what I love about it, but also add some extra functionality underneath to make things a little bit more customizable and a little bit easier. One of the main things, for example, like I said before, I like having 3 screens. Sometimes when you see 5, I've even had devices that have had 7 screens on them. It's just kind of too much for me. I like to keep only the things I need on my screens, and 3 is the perfect number for me to put what I need. So, that being said, coming from the top to bottom, the launcher that I use is called Nova Launcher. It's one of the most popular ones on the market right now. Stock Android user interface is really good already, so why not just be able to change those same elements rather than adding too much on top of it. So, we'll get into a couple of the more advanced settings that Nova allows me to do and the reasons why I like it so much, and it's really a look at how I put together my Android. But anyway, here you go. So I like having the search bar at the top because it's an easy way to get to the searches. Also, like I said before, Google Now is an app I use a lot, so this is another easy way to get to it. This wallpaper is one from a website called MinimalWall, and it's a very, very good website full of a bunch of different wallpapers and backgrounds, rather, that help to simplify the look of your desktop. I like to put the wallpaper there, and whatever space is not taken up by words, I just populate with the widgets. Calendar on the first leftmost screen. On the rightmost screen, I have a reader widget. It's the widget for gReader, which is a great RSS feed reader. And I have it set, of course, to Android Authority. So if I ever want to get some news reading done, I can just go over to my rightmost screen and I will be able to look at the headlines and read from there. So the one in the middle is a little bit more important. It's called ActivePhoto. It's another paid application that basically allows you to put a widget of a picture of whatever you want onto your screen, and then you're able to click or press upon the ActivePhoto widget, and it will do a number of different customizable functions, primarily having to do with contacts. So for me, I have this picture right here for now, but it's only for the purposes of this video because normally I have my girlfriend there, and I would just press on the widget and it would give me the quick contact pop-up. You can have it go straight to a call, straight to a text, or anything like that, but for me, I have all the options available: call, text, email, anything like that, in case I need to do something different. ActivePhoto is a great widget for your smartphone. It's an easy way to get a picture of someone who's important to you onto your phone while remaining functional. It's not just a static photo. All right, so you can see the picture that I have there in replacement, 6 seasons in a movie. Anyway, one of the cool things about Nova is that it allows you to have more than one dock space, and that's really cool. I group my applications into specific categories, and those folders are then put into the dock. So we have communications right there for obvious reasons, messaging, quite a few messaging apps there. I always have an app drawer button in the middle because if someone takes my phone and they happen to be on the other dock and they're kind of confused, they can always click on that and find what they want to find. Connecting right here for the browser and a few services, and finally the photography, of course, at the end. So these are the apps I use on a daily basis, but on the other screen I have ones that are regularly used but maybe not daily, like readers, like the gReader, like I told you before, also Reddit, all of my social programs right there, app drawer button, navigation, maps. I do use Yelp quite a bit as well to find a nice little cafe nearby in order to work, and finally the media. So yeah, that's pretty much it, but I wanted to show you one last thing. One great thing that I love about Nova Launcher is the ability to add gestures. Gestures in general, like if you were going to just, this is a simple one, if you were to hold on the home screen on any other blank space, this would come up with different things you can add to the home screen, kind of like earlier versions of Android. But also you can double tap, and that brings up the Nova settings, but those aren't really the ones that I use. The ones that I use involve a 2-finger swipe. So let's imagine that I am talking to somebody and they want to schedule lunch with me. I'll just bust out my phone, unlock it, do a 2-finger swipe down, and my calendar appears right there. Really, really easy, really fast, and allows you to get right to what you need to do. You can set these gestures to open pretty much anything, so that's really awesome. I can also swipe upwards, and that one in particular is for Google Drive, which is, to me, I use Google Drive, yes, but I use it primarily as the Docs functionality. I like using it because if I make a document inside of Google Drive, it's just like in Google Docs, since they've merged the two. I just kind of put down some thoughts, quick notes or anything like that, and I'll have like one whole document full of ideas if I come up with ideas and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. We're going to be coming out with more versions, or more episodes rather, of How I Android, dealing with a lot of different tasks that we need to do in our daily lives, like taking pictures, maybe even uploading to Instagram for whatever reason, or things like navigation or connectivity, jotting down notes, like for me when I do my Google Drive. All right, so that was just a quick look at what I do on my Android device, at least in terms of how I structure my launcher and the lock screens. And it's just a quick look that is available for you, so that if you look at someone else's setup on their phone, it'll give you ideas on how to customize your phone. And that's one of the great things about Android, is that it is so highly customizable that no two phones are essentially the same. Now remember, we have videos coming out all the time on the Android Authority channel, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, either down below on the subscribe button, or we're going to put one up right there. Alright guys, well, thank you so much, and remember to stay tuned to AndroidAuthority.com, because it is your source for all things Android.